So in an unfortunate turn of events, WWE Hall of Famer Jerry the King Lawler was arrested and then suspended by the WWE related to a domestic incident that he had with his girlfriend at his house last night or this morning. So Jerry the King Lawler, I woke up to headlines and I waited to post on it because I wanted to, get a little bit more information. We found out the first time with Adam Rose that there's more details, that there was no hitting in that case either, that it came down to a situation of just calling. And so the details now that have came out regarding this basically surrounded the fact that they got into an argument and that she was drinking. Other people have come out and spoke out. Jim Ross, who says Jerry the King Lawler doesn't drink. And Jerry the King Lawler himself today, once he was released from jail, spoke to the news and gave his side of the story and basically said they got into an argument. She was intoxicated as she wanted to leave. There was no way he was going to let her leave, essentially. A fight broke out. She called, not a fight, but she had called 911 and she had scratched him. So that basically led to her getting a gun, an unloaded gun, and he had got it, and he says, I might have put it on the counter, but I never told her to kill herself like she's claiming. So this is an unfortunate turn of events because, one, WWE doesn't need more bad press right now. They really don't. Two, this sucks for Jerry the King Lawler, especially when, based on what it sounds like, and I'm not going to make any judgments here like the Adam Rose case. I don't want to come out here and accuse somebody of something like other shows on YouTube do that just throw out those accusations. We're just going to discuss it and talk about it and realize that mistakes do happen, and that if Jerry was trying to keep an intoxicated person from leaving, in this case his girlfriend, and things got heated, I myself have tried to keep drunk people from trying to drive or do stuff, and they're not easy people to deal with, and things do get out of control. I once got literally clocked, blindsided by a buddy when I was in Florida, in the arm, not in the face. So if something like that is the cause and nobody struck anybody and it really was just a face scratch, I don't necessarily think this is something that charges would be pressed. Hopefully not, unless Jerry did. But it sounds like Jerry knows that this happens when she gets intoxicated. So Adam Rose's case got thrown out by the judge, and he just has to keep talking to his pastor. And if he had not resigned, he might have been able to stay around. Probably not. He's also selling his shirt, his mugshot photo on Pro Wrestling Tees now. But I had posted about this and talked about this, and this is definitely not the way I ever wanted it to happen. I don't think that Jerry the King Lawler having an unfortunate series of events like this would lead to, an opportunity, but it kind of has, because Corey Graves now could have an opportunity to step up. Now, I've already said this for a while, that I do think Corey Graves should be calling one of the shows come the brand split. And I still think a Corey Graves, more Ronaldo Booth would be fantastic. Whether or not you throw in the King or Byron or somebody else into that, I think those two would be a fantastic booth for the wrestling industry. So like I said, it would be an unfortunate series of events for him to get there, and I've already said that word, that phrase a couple times now. And it sucks that he gets there by that means, but, it is what it is. Now, do I think Jerry Lawler should have been suspended? Some people have said WWE should have waited for the facts. The truth is WWE has a policy, a zero tolerance policy now, and especially with the past violations they've had, some of them that I've, we were always wondering what happened to Hornswoggle. Why did Hornswoggle get suspended? And then we found out from his interview with Stone Cold after he got released that it wasn't in fact that he failed the drug test. It's that he just couldn't pee at the time, which, I'm going to take his word for it. He just couldn't pee, and that is a failed test. They basically say it as an excuse that, you can't pee, so, you failed the test. And in this case, when it comes to drugs, you have to have a zero-tolerance policy, even if you find out. In the case of Ray LaPond, Adam Rose, he has a legally prescribed medication, but that still didn't come into effect. Here, he should be suspended until pending outcome. Now, I know what that makes people look like. I know some people that I've seen in the comments, wow, that makes him completely already look guilty before anything's already happened. which is true, but when you're running a multi-billion-dollar company, and I'm saying multi-billion, okay, $1.2 billion company, and you have one of your talents on the news with a mugshot being arrested, it's kind of a big deal. And WWE will have to, I don't know what kind of damage control they're going to do. And like I said, I definitely hope this won't affect Jerry the King Lawler long term. If they end up dropping it, I hope WWE would also drop it. WWE is one that doesn't necessarily forget about things. We all know that from some past grudges that WWE's had. Eventually, lately, they seem to have gotten over some of them, or not necessarily grudges, but, working with people. But it would definitely suck if this was the end of Jerry the King Lawler. I don't see this unless charges come. If there's charges, it's pretty much, it's a guaranteed termination, essentially. Say if he got a misdemeanor for something, it would be a termination, just because of WWE's policies, which especially with their work with organizations that are against bullying and violence and everything, WWE should stick to that. And I know, just like in the case of Hulk Hogan, there's people on both sides of that, whether or not Hogan's comments about being racist was enough to warrant him from being kicked out of the WWE. You look at a guy like Chris and what he did, that's something that's far more unexcusable, and I don't think that he should be in the Hall of Fame. If there was any way to separate what he did from his wrestling career, I totally would, and I do in some aspects, but it's something you can't get over. Hulk Hogan, possibly, over time, but I think from what we've heard now with Jerry the King Lawler, this is definitely something that I think the WWE could get over. So the stories that were posted with the mugshots that they have and everything that they're going through, it kind of surprised me. Like I said, reading some of those comments of people once the mugshots had gotten posted, and you look at it, and there's some people talking about the age difference, and I'm like, okay, come on, guys. They're going after the age, and it really does kind of suck. Most of them are like calling him sick for dating somebody who's like 40 when she was born, or everything. And you know what? Love has no bounds, man. As long as you're legal. I mean, there's an 18-year-old dating a 70-year-old may sound creepy, but but Jerry the King Lawler dating somebody younger, I don't see that as a problem. I think a lot of people are going to try to spin this some ways. The people that love Jerry the King Lawler are going to say this isn't a big deal. The people that don't like Jerry, it's a way for them to get him out. Maybe they haven't liked Jerry the King Lawler. I know a lot of people say they haven't liked Jerry the King Lawler since he went face. Since he's gone back heel on SmackDown, I've actually really liked his work. But some people still haven't liked him since him and JR stopped working together. So I want to know your guys' thoughts on this, man. I want to know, is WWE in the right here? Did they have the right to, well, obviously they did because they have a zero tolerance policy. Was it right for WWE, because of their policy of zero tolerance, to immediately suspend him without knowing any further details? And two, do you think this is something that WWE can get past and that won't affect Jerry the King Lawler long term? Now, they could just use this as an excuse if they're going to write him off, say something comes of this. The WWE brand split could kind of protect them. You could have the GMs pick up-and-coming commentators like Corey Graves and Mauro Ranallo and be like, listen, JR moved on. King, it's time to move on. We're going with the young guns, the commentators from NXT. So they could, in a theoretical way, write Jerry the King Lawler off of TV if they end up releasing him in a way. But like I said, it's way too early for that. It'll be interesting to see how this plays out. Like I said, everybody had written off Adam Rose and said how horrible it was until you actually find out that nobody actually hit anybody. It was just he tried to stop her from calling 911. So like I said, we'll wait and find out all the details, guys. Make sure to follow me on Twitter. If there's any other details, I'll make sure to tweet them out. If something does happen breaking, I'll try to cover it, or else I'll just try to wait till we get more information, fully cover the story, and talk about it, because it does suck, especially with WWE's brand split, man. This is bad timing for them. This is something that I feel bad for Jerry the King Lawler. You read JR's blog post, and I don't know if you did. He said he's never drank. And apparently his girlfriend also got intoxicated last week and actually punched her aunt. So if she has a history of drinking, maybe Jerry the King Lawler was just doing the right thing. Maybe they got into a fight. Maybe he did say the stuff about the gun. Who knows? But we'll find out the story coming up soon. So until next time, guys, my name is Tubby. Thank you very much for watching. Jerry, man, I hope you get through this, man. I hope to see you back in the WWE, and hopefully this suspension isn't forever.